So here we are again with a short victory. This one for the Wargrove of Woe, which is Drycha's Wood Elf faction. And this was a 6.2 campaign. Doesn't seem to be very much at all that has changed for Drycha, at least, in 6.2. Even though I played this relatively leisurely, the victory is after 49 turns. The difficult part of the victory, which is where you capture all of Lathalauren, happened in, 1, 2, 3, 4 turns once I initiated it. You can do it a lot more quickly than that if you time it so that your you see 20, let's say 26, 27 settlements here. You can make these be the last 3 to get the victory. So I probably could have done it in 40 turns, which would have been the fastest that I've done it. But it played out pretty typically. Although I was a lot more aggressive this time. Many times I will just sort of be friends with the Empire factions here and go after Vlad early on, just because eventually he's going to attack you, even if you have this plus 20 relations with the vampire counts. And in this immunity here, you don't really keep him off you. He comes for you anyway. So this time, I just did the ring. I took Mordheim, Essen, Naganov, came back to deal with the Imperial invasion, and then just went around the ring to get all of these. I usually don't get Vitevo. That's usually taken by Katerin, and there's not really any reason to fight her over it. So this actually completed pretty quickly. And then I did my usual, which is to come down and take this one. This actually went up really pretty quickly. It doesn't usually go up by now because of the number of fights I had in here, because Karazakarak was taken out by Skarsnik. So I was fighting Skarsnik in here a lot. I went to war with the ogres. So there were a lot of fights in here, so this went up really quickly. And of course I have this technology which gives you an additional forest health here, which means that fights here were giving you 3 per turn. And then 3 or 4, 1 or 2 or 3 of these at the time was giving me many a turn. This doesn't really give you much of a benefit. This settlement, I'm not going to use War Dance from Bladesingers. Hero Action Success I'm not going to use, because I played this as a no elf campaign. I don't have any elves in any of my armies. So this one is pretty useless, but it's close by. So if you're having difficulty, the armies can combine here. Took out Vlad. I was going to branch out and come over here earlier, but I was declared war on by Throt. There was a massive army of Azazels here, so I brought Drycha back up, wiped out all of Azazel's armies. He's now back up here, took out a Throt army or 2, and now Katerin is doing fine. Azag declared war on me, so I dispatched Durthu here and Sestashol here to take care of that. The backbone of all my Forest Spirit armies are Treekin. This is pretty typical for them, 56 melee defense. That's not wonderful, you can still take a hit, but because there's only 16 entities, they share this among them. Their hit points for individual units are ridiculously large. Fill in the gaps with these so they can't be struck by multiple enemies. They just hold the fort while you throw around ridiculous amounts of magic. There's actually pretty low magic in here. I do try to get as many of these ranch raids with Murder of Spites, which is the Mortis engine. It's not particularly strong, but when you're fighting weenie armies, Empire armies, zombie armies, orc armies. It does do quite a number. I wasn't ridiculously picky this time. For example, I didn't go through my big store of branch wraiths that already have spites. The best ones are the branch wraiths, malevolent branch wraiths of life with spites, so that they can heal my own guys and kill the enemy. And this time I just went with whatever was available. I have so many of these available now because it's part of a victory condition. Where is it? There you go, +3 heroes. So I would have 7. Each of these will give you 1, and the first one you get is +1 branch wraiths. So you get 2 for your at the beginning in your first settlement. Then each one of these gets you 1. So I have 2, 3, and then what? 4, 5, 6, 7 branch wraiths, and then 7. There's no other way to increase the number of branch wraiths other than through this building. I don't believe there's a tech for it. I hope there is. That's this one here. Branch, no. Why is that lighting up? Interesting. There's no branch wraith increase in here. There's no hero increase in here. There's recruit ranks. That's about it. I've never even got that. I've never played long enough. And most of the stuff in here is for elves. I did take, with the initial amber that you get, I took this one because my early armies are full of dryads, then later treekin and treemen, and then 25% off all buildings. Some of the wood elf buildings take a stupendous amount of time to build. Like this, that's 11 turns, and that's with the 25% discount to take that up. And then this one here, it's going to be 11 turns. I just started that one. The second one I used with this one here, -1 turn minimum on local recruitment and growth. The reason I do that is right here. Treemen here, they take 2 turns to recruit. Now they only take me 1. So nothing that I recruit locally takes longer than 1 turn. Unfortunately, you can only recruit. Can we move this guy? Yeah. Recruitment is limited to 2 in the wood elf, and you can't increase that. At least I'm not sure how you would do it. I have 1 amber in reserve from the second that I finished. This one here is only for Drycha. It's physical resistance for those wild spirits that she can recruit, and then murder of spites for all tree men units, malevolent tree men units. That's really good. That's the Mortis engine. This one is also only for Drycha. So death blow for the malevolent units, which increases weapon damage and armor piercing damage when they're dying, which who wants that? And then stalk, 3 units I never use. I really never lean in to the forest spirits, the summon spirits. The only ones that I will use, I will recruit manticores whenever I can get them, and I will fill spaces with malevolent dryads. And then if I have to have an emergency army, there's this, but I don't find them to be very useful. So this game was really rather easy. It is, to my mind, the single easiest campaign of all to win. Even taking out the wood elves are very difficult opponents when you are playing against them, but not when you have armies full of this. This is just outlandishly ridiculous. They armor piercing, right? They cause terror. They're siege attackers. with physical resistance, missile resistance, and ancient protector. So they take no magic damage, and they negate magic damage in a 35-meter circle. So if you have an opponent who's carrying around some ridiculously powerful magic weapon, sorry, not going to be able to use that one on me. I don't think that there's anything else you really have to emphasize here. Like I say, I don't have any of the elf buildings, so I didn't build these. I didn't build these or these. I have this line not for this unit, but to get these. This normally gets you spell singers. You cannot get spell singers as Drycha unless you take one in a confederation. So all these do is increase your recruit rank for your branch rates, and then they stop here. This allows you to recruit units that I wasn't going to use. So it really is a simple campaign. I took Coadil on the very turn he was available. I did that combat mission. I do have the mod for auto-resolving fights, quest battles. I fought it this time just to see how it would go without elves. It went fine. Coadil, terrific all-around unit. He has all of this stuff going. He has the Murder of Spites ability. He gets regeneration. He has spell mastery, ward save, physical resistance, scares the crap out of everybody, negates magical weapons, gets cheap Flock of Doom, gets a Doom Bolt. I mean, there's really nothing to complain about. He used to be ridiculous to get a hold of. There was a whole chain of missions you had to do. You had to chase down an Imperial army in the Drakwold, far away from where you start. It was stupid. So the single mission to get him now is good. There are some good offices in Drycha's. This one here is great to begin with. Does it not tell me what they are? Here we go. So Bitterbark, replenishment rate for Dryads, upkeep for Dryads. So at the beginning of the game, you can mass Dryads, shove them in this army. I think she gets Dryads cheaper to begin with. Is that right? Okay, so 10% off for Dryads there. 15% there, so that's 25%. And then the Bitterbark, 25%. So Dryads are literally half price. So if we find him, I think he's up here dealing with Norska. His Dryads are, what, 62. He's not using them much anymore because I have all of this. What I really need now is to take over this one here, where the special building cuts the cost by 30% for Forest Spirit units. Too bad there's no Forest Spirit stuff there. So what else do we have? That's the best one by far. This one here, bonuses for the units I do not usually recruit. This one here has bonuses for treemen, upkeep and melee defense for treemen. And then this one here, stalk and for treekin. And then replaces the glamour. The glamour makes the elves more expensive, expendable, so you don't care if you lose them, and reduces some of their combat stats. Insidious glamour changes that to +8 leadership. But like I said, this was a no-elf campaign. So give this one a try if you like it. Will I continue this one? I doubt it. Because again, the long victory condition requires 6 more world root healings. And maybe I did install a mod to do that, but it's just not likely. Alright, so I hope that gets you. Oh, let's take a look at Drycha herself, if you're unfamiliar with what she can do. She is really quite powerful. So, control in the enemy province, Rouse to Wrath summons a Dryad unit. you can get a second one here, and then you can get another one here. Like a Raz to Wrath gains an additional, so you get 3 of them. In this one, infinite range and infinite additional charge and infinite range. This one here, the dryads don't degrade, so you can get 3 permanent dryads anywhere on the board. So when you're fighting enemies with artillery, you can plonk a dryad right down on them. I did that to the dwarves earlier. This one, she gets any ability that you can get as a mage or as a leader. Pageant of Shrikes destroys the ammunition of enemy units, reducing the cost for Malkioth. This one here, Befuddlement of Mischiefs, automatically, it's like a net with a very large area, 35-meter area, and that allows you, for example, to put a net down and then to put some kind of AoE where they are. She does get Pit of Shades. And then this one here allows branch wraiths anywhere and rank 3 for them. Although by the time you need to be able to recruit them anywhere, you just don't have the capacity anyway, because you can only get them at trees. She has Pit of Shades. She has the Pendulum. I use the Withering a lot, which, as you can see here, reduces leadership and armor. I often carry a bunch of these. So each of these is -5 enemy leadership. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of those in this army. So that's 20 enemy leadership that we're reducing. This one here, where is it? Here you go. Increases the cooldowns of enemy spells by 15 seconds. And it's enabled if she's casting, so that's terrific. It just stops people from doing the spells that they want to do. Now, there was a big update to units and items. I barely saw any of the new items. I did see some of these guys here that now give you barrier, so the lodestones are useful. I only really got one... where is it? Here, one of the units, one of the items that was popular beforehand, but really nothing in here. I mean, I think these are the same. I mean, I didn't get anything. I mean, this we're not using. This is the dumbest thing ever. It gives anybody the ability that literally is one of the great things about Altharion, and now anybody can have it. There are ridiculous numbers of items for ranged units, which of course I didn't use. I hardly use anything. When you get this powerful an army, you don't use anything. So I didn't see a lot of good unit abilities from equipment. It was just a pretty standard Drycha campaign. Give it a go if you want something simple. There's a first few turns posted already. It's still relevant to the 6.2 update.